What's up, everybody? Oh my gosh, I'm like all late. I'm sorry. What is up? What is up, everybody? Good Monday morning. Good Monday afternoon. What is up? Let me make sure my mic sounds nice. I always have to. Oh my God. Mm. What's all right? Yeah, my mic sounds pretty okay. Or y'all could just tell me too. What is up? Oh my, Cass. What's up, everybody? I'm so happy to see everybody is here. Let me say hi to everybody. What's up, Cindy? Thank you for coming through. What's up, Hypnotic? Thank you. What up? Broken Traditions is back. What's up? Cult Classic Cage. And he told us finally. Thank you, Billy. I sound fine. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. Let's have the party. All right, guys, how was your weekend? Mine was pretty cool. I worked. We're going to go ahead and get right into everything. Now, so if you saw when you looked at the thumbnail, there was a lot. Matter of fact, actually, I had to answer somebody on Twitter about something. So let me just go do that first. But the thumbnail has a lot going on because there's a lot going on, but it's all connected. It's all connected. Okay. Mm. So if y'all want to know, like, I went to the gym. I'm hype, and so that's why I'm like amped up a little bit. But all right, let's go to the notifications. Let's see if I can find where, because Phil Lamonte, that's his name, he asked a really good question on, um, shucks. Yeah, there we go. Labonte. He asked a really good question on Twitter, and I was like, yo, I'm going to answer this question on my channel. Now, if I could get to the damn question. Dang, some of y'all tweet so fast and so much. Like, hold on. Um, yeah, traditions. I still have the braids. Uh, hold on. Oh my gosh, that's so annoying because oh my god, did I not? Oh, I think I did bookmark the question because it really is an important question. Yes, I did. God is so good. All right, let's get into it. Hey, Ryan made it. Okay, so Phil asks this question. Um, the answer to liberalism on the left is not liberalism from the right. This Christian nationalist eventually must create strife and infighting on the right. Which Christians are correct? Who gets to decide which denomination? What about devout Muslims? Do Jews have to convert? The questions don't stop until an authority says so. And then it's just the right boot instead of the left. Excuse me. So sorry. So the way when I read this, I was like, this is a really good question, because he's basically saying, I mean, like, listen, our country right now, there's so much going on. It feels like, and this isn't doom and gloom, but it feels like something is taking over. There's like some sort of evil that is taking over. And I even heard somebody read a letter from an atheist who was like, yo, I don't even believe in the metaphysical evil, but what's going on? This was on Josh Slocum's show, the Disaffected podcast. And this guy was like, but something's going on because it's almost like there's things being pushed at us that you don't even understand why it's happening. Why are they pushing certain agendas and just in your face, in your face, in your face? And then you have people who are losing their minds. I have examples of it today. I'm going to show you. Um, this isn't normal and this isn't just policies. And it's not. I mean, even when you have a man like Tucker Carlson, who is pretty much straightforward, just kind of like not really that religious, he said, but he's even like, we can't policy our way out of what's going on in our country, so for me to answer that question, and like I said, I think it's a great question. Real quick before I answer, there was an article I saw that was saying, a lot of people aren't believing in God, and I'm like, I don't believe that's true. I don't. But the media is always going to tell you that there's a decline in the belief in God. But to me, you're not going to tell us that a lot of people are believing in God, but a lot of people are asking, what the hell is going on here? So anyway, but this question, so the authority, right? But that's why I say again, it goes straight to the source, God, right? Okay. The first book that predates everything is the Bible. All right. Now, um, and it can be done. You don't have to convert to a Christian, right? Although I would love for everybody to do so, but I understand, right? So one of my very good friends, very, very good friends, like my sister, really tight, my squad, in my deep squad, she's Muslim, and we talk about what's going on in the world. We see what's going on in the world, but I'm Christian and she's Muslim. And that doesn't, how do I say, that doesn't stop us from having this conversation, because we both answer to God, right? So it all falls back down to that. So it doesn't, everybody right now is trying to fight for their community, whether it be the feminist, the trans, the black community, the disabled community. Everybody has a community, the fat community, the this community, that. So every time we pull ourselves into a community, we pull ourselves away from each other and we separate from the creator. Whether it's, if you don't want to call it God, which, for me, it's God, but, the creator, Allah, the one, the deity, so you pull yourself away from that, because now you end up having to defend the community. So yes, if you have a person who, this is why I say, like, in our government, we need to replace a lot of the people that are there. I see things in people, and is it now? And I'm sorry, Cassie's probably gonna get a little annoyed. I'm gonna shout you out just real quick though, real quick. I'm not gonna put you on the spot that hard, but the reason why I'll say the cult classic Cage, like, yo man, you need to run for something, right? So I know it feels like, nah, I'm not trying, like, what I mean, be a sellout, but it's like, no, we need to overturn. We need to just get rid of the same status quo politician and put in we the people, the people. I look at Cassie and I see balance. I see somebody who can understand, yes, you have a right to liberty and freedom, but you don't have a right to destroy society. And you're also worth it not to destroy society. You know what I'm saying? So I see that in her. So that's why I say that to her. She doesn't have to do it, but I'm saying this is what we need. So, but she's not, I'm not saying she's religious. I feel bad. I like talking about you, but like, it's not about that you have to be religious, but your answer, when you, even the way you talk, you answer to something else besides yourself. You don't speak just about what you want. You answer for people. So you're serving people as you're answering that question. And when you serve people, you serve God. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you Christian or whatever. And religion is the practice of life that's supposed to keep you closer to God. So that's why that's that answer for me. Now, like I said, well, my great friend, she's Muslim, right? All right, we tight, right? But we understand she's Muslim and I'm Christian. I think we don't have to convert, nor do we have to put the religions together. And let me just put it like this. There is something going on right now. This is why I keep saying, I'm not going to get too deep, but this is why I keep saying that Ukraine war is not just about, fighting for Russia and for territory. No, there's an absolute spiritual, um, there's a spiritual reason for it. Okay, there's an obsession that they have with this Ukraine situation, and in Kazakhstan there is this big temple, where the Pope and like all these other leaders from other faiths, Catholic, Jewish, Muslims, everybody, they're trying to come together to make a one true religion. But we know that that's not true. You can't do that. Like, you can't, right? So out of respect, as much as, all right, I told you I'm really close with my Muslim friend, right? But I'm not trying to mesh our religions together. We respect each other, but we respect that part. And so what I'm saying is, to fight what's going on, you have to go to the source. You do, because you have to remove yourself first from it. You have to remove yourself, because even when I'm saying certain things about what's going on in the country, and I'll see a video or something about, some black person who did something, It's constantly the same kind of video that's being shown. And I know some of it is controlled, but of course we give them the ammunition to show the video. It does bother me a little bit, but I have to remove myself too, not to get discouraged. Remove myself and understand first I'm answering to something higher than myself, and then I want to serve people and spread the message however I can, right? So I think that if that even answered the question of what he was asking, that's the answer to me, and and that's what it is that everybody's trying to do. Even these people who are going off about this trans thing, when you see them acting crazy, screaming everything, is because people want to fight for something outside of everybody wants to do outside of themselves. They want to feel like they're part of something. They do. We all do. Whether you go and march or not, you want to feel like you're just doing something outside of you, right? So for me, it goes back to the creator, because that's the only safe way. Then I can rationalize what's going on here. I can understand that, yeah, climate change is not a real thing, but we should keep the earth clean. We should have an ecosystem. We should turn soil. You know what I mean? Like, I can understand it where, we shouldn't, you know, uh, people deserve human rights, but I understand your rights are given to you by God, and we shouldn't be hurting people just because they're gay or homosexual or trans. Like, I'm not saying to go out and fight people, right? But at the same time, I understand that there's no such thing as hate speech. Yes, I say that because there's enough laws that we can answer those type of questions. Because once you go with one group and say there's hate speech to that group, now you have to make everybody a community and answer to each community. So I'm answering to people. Like, when I say answer to people, I'm trying to save the liberty for the people, not communities. So I hope it made sense with anything that I said. And I hope that people heard what I was saying. So let me go back to the chat and see what's going on, because I had to jump in on that real quick. And let's see what we got. So I got everybody here. Yes, Ryan came through. Thank you. And today we're gonna get into squad. Let me see. Cassie said, my best friend is Muslim. I am agnostic. We both respect each other and are in agreement that things are messed up badly and things are extremely progressive for the worse. Exactly. So it's like, at the end of the day, when you know that this is naturally not making any sense, right? This doesn't make any sense what's going on, and and it's not stopping, and it will not stop, right? Until, my thing is this, like, I know what the prophecies say. It's not going to stop, but we have to fight it. It doesn't have to happen yet. Humans have been here before. They have been here before, so, and they were able to fight. So we have to fight. But yeah, like, that's what we got going on. Yo, Copa's in the house. What's up, Copa? Activism certainly isn't active at all. No, it's not, because um activism is just doing things without any real destination, without any real reason. So we have to, these people who do this, again, I say it's like, because they don't want to deal with themselves. You know, they don't want to deal with themselves, right? They don't want to do the work at home. The problem is, it takes a lot to have self accountability, and then just let me wrap that up with this. Like, then you hear people say, well, God, I don't believe in God because he says I'm bad and he hates me for this and that. There's self accountability in that Bible is for all of us. We all have something that we're dealing with, that we need to be better with. So he doesn't hate you no matter what. I don't understand it because I'm a human, and there are people who I would say that I hate. Yeah, pedos. I don't know how to make it. I'm not God, right? So, but that Bible also comes with growth too, or the religion that you choose. Now I'm speaking. You choose a religion, as long as it's answering to the Creator, you will have growth and progression in it. All right. Whew. Okay. So let's get into it. So we're gonna start with world affairs real quick, and then we're gonna go into, and it's gonna segue us right into all the trans stuff. Yes, it is, because it's all connected. It's all connected. Now, I want to also say this on the channel. So a couple things going on the channel. Later on today at 5 o'clock, I will 5:10. I will be on with Jambalaya Talks. She's oh my God, this girl, this woman, she's so like down to earth, easy to talk to, and just talks so well about like the history of all this feminism. She knows about a lot of history, about a lot of everything, but I heard her talking about feminism and like the beginnings of it and where how we got here and how a lot of it is in the it started with the women. So, and I mean, at the end of the day, as a religious person, I have to say though, Eve gave Adam the apple, was like, eat it if you love me. So I don't know. But anyway, so we're gonna have that kind of talk. Um so that's gonna be going on. That's gonna be at 5 o'clock. Please check that out. 5, 5, 10. Um, and then the Substack, I'll have an update about that at 5 o'clock because as every time I start a topic, it gets bigger and bigger, and I'm trying to figure out how to put like a little bit in one article and not make it so drawn out because this is a big topic we're talking about when it comes to reset, when it comes to the agenda, what you're seeing in the commercials, everything is being taken over by this agenda. And you know and this isn't a coincidence where it's like, oh, I'll try this and I'll try I'll try that. No, this is like a real thing. So it's all connected. And then it takes me to how did it start. So the Substack will be back, but I'll have more of an update on that. And then lastly, like there's certain topics that I'm covering on the channel. You'll see it. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. There's some stuff I will grift on. I gotta get people here, to watch the episodes, watch the show. People like some of the petty stuff, but I always throw in some informational stuff in there. There's certain topics that I'm going to start discussing, like quote climate change. I may not use that word because I'm noticing they're suppressing people talking about climate change. TikTok was the first. They said they're going to do it. TikTok is not talking about climate change. They're suppressing climate change on TikTok, right? You notice you don't hear too much about that TikTok situation too much, right? Because they finally like the powers that be, the uni party that we have in the government, basically told them what they need to do to check themselves and to stay in line. I'm not saying that it's not going to go anywhere in the future, but TikTok said we're going to be making sure there's no misinformation about climate change. I know what that means, right? So YouTube is on the same wavelength too. There's something going on about John Kerry saying that we shouldn't have small farms. This is real. Okay. So, and I'm trying to figure out how to put this into a discussion where a lot of people will come and want to hear it, but then also not like an episode, but also where I missed the algorithm. I don't know, but it will be suppressed. So that's why please hit that like button. Please share the videos, tell your friends about it, because um, the suppression it's about to. And then before elections, I have to have my website up really by my birthday, because that's it. Elections, y'all probably not gonna be able to find me. It'll be like, oh yeah, that's that broad talking about Donald Trump all the time. Make sure we just block her channel. So but I'll keep you guys posted to everything that's going on. All right. Yes, twice in one day, Cindy. I know, like that's crazy. Hello, Stephen Garrison. Thank you for coming through. Rocky, thank you for coming through. All right. So we're gonna go straight into talking about now this world affairs. Um, let's start with this. Somebody's calling me from California, y'all. I don't know. Uh, let me see. Let's start with this here. The Pentagon. Yeah. Oh my God. I hate that I'm even on CNN trying to do this. Is this the one? No. I hate when you hit something and you don't get what you're looking for. Um. Okay, this might be it.
Let's move on now. The Pentagon has overvalued U.S. equipment it sent to Ukraine. A sources-based report filed by news agency Reuters says the account...
What the hell's going on? Bear with me, y'all. I hate that this is I don't understand what's going on. My computer is really getting on my nerves, y'all. Buy me a new computer for my No, let me stop. But for real, what is going on? Like, I don't understand. Um, I might just have to read it.
An accounting error has apparently
Okay,
freed up
there's something going on
billions
with my
more dollars.
speakers where it's not sharing for me to hear it. Hold on, I can't. In the meantime, just talking about yourselves. This is why it's good. Like Hypno with the Saturday night hypnosis TV. Like y'all take over real quick. I wish I had somebody to say y'all take over real quick while I'm trying to figure out what is going on. There we go. Let me see. Yeah, because it was playing through my audio device, which is like so weird. I don't know why the phone decided to do that. Let me see.
In aid for
Here we go.
Ukraine. That's according to multiple congressional and administration officials who say the White House made an accounting error has apparently freed up billions more dollars in aid for Ukraine. That's according to multiple congressional and administration officials who say the White House made
I won't even use this one. Sorry, y'all. Mm-mm.
Let's move on now. The Pentagon has overvalued U.S. equipment it sent to Ukraine. A sources-based report filed by news agency Reuters says the accounting error was of around $3 billion US. The major accounting error comes at a time when the U.S. is in the middle of an unprecedented debt crisis. Reuters says the error was the result of assigning a higher than warranted value on weaponry that was taken from U.S. stocks and then shipped to Ukraine. Since August 2021, the United States has sent weapons valued at about $21.1 billion to Ukraine from its stockpiles.
All right, let's just all right. So y'all get it. Y'all heard that. Y'all seen that, right? So the Pentagon. Oh my God, we found. Look at that. Look what I found in my backpack. $3 billion. Yeah, just randomly found $3 billion. Like, oh wow. Whoopsies, made a mistake. I accidentally overpriced the weaponry, but it's okay. I only did that time just by $3 billion. Yeah, I just bet. Number one, they didn't find anything. They just decided to take some of their laundering, allegedly, in my opinion, money. They decided to take some of it and say, you know what? Let's give a little bit more to Ukraine. Let's, you know what I mean? Listen, everybody break off a little bit and then give it to Ukraine off of your money. Our inflation and tax dollars is being allegedly, in my opinion, funneled into the pockets of these politicians. And that's not a good enough word for these globalists. That's where our money is going. And then they throw in a couple dirty, broken weapons for them. Okay. Like, and then when you hear like, that whole report was mostly, like, I don't want to say like a lie, but yeah, a lot of it was. Oh, they send the weapons to Ukraine. No, they send them to Poland first, and then they go to Ukraine if they even make it there. A lot of the weapons are being sold on the black market, allegedly, in my opinion, what I heard. You know, like what is going on? But here's what's even better. So over the weekend, Russia finally got took over Bakhmut. You know, all right, let me present it on Twitter because it's just going to make it a little easier for me that way. Um, and I bookmarked a lot of stuff. So hold on. We got so much to talk about. See, you see all the stuff that's flying up. Like you see it. You know what I mean? Like what is going on? But all right, anyway, so before I get there, um, a lot of stuff going on worldwide that you gotta keep you have to pay attention to it all. So this is Zelensky before no, I'm not even gonna talk about this. We already know that he lied to us. So Bakhmut's been taken over by Russia. Okay, observe. So Bakhmut was the biggest, it was the longest battle in this whole situation. And this special proxy, not proxy cold hot war, we are in a war with Russia, allegedly, in my opinion. So Bakhmut finally got taken over. They've been fighting for like, I think 9 months, right? And so what was happening was Russia could have took them out like in a quick, fast hurry. But instead, they allowed them to pour in their army and then they were grinding them up. It's sad because I'm talking about people. I'm not talking about meat here. I'm talking about people. And so now they finally taken over Bakhmut. And now you have Zelensky going to um, the G7 summit talking about, well, no, we still got a way where we, I mean, we still hold a small piece and we're going to try to get it from there. What, a building? You don't hold anything. You don't hold anything. So this is him, I think, trying to explain himself.
Mr. President, does Zelensky's Bakhmut still in Ukraine's hands? The Russians say they've taken Bakhmut.
I think no. But you have to understand that there is nothing. They destroyed everything. There are no buildings. It's a pity, it's tragedy, but for today, Bakhmut is only in our hearts. There is nothing on this place.
He said Bakhmut is only in our hearts. Just say it. Russia liberated Bakhmut. Okay? That's what it's really called. What was going on in Ukraine before this war started was nothing but a crime to humanity of anybody who cared. I'm not going to act like I know everything because I'm trying to catch up. But when I hear how these people who are Russian, a lot of them, I met Ukrainians who will say, like, we're the same people. And I used to be like, what the hell does that mean? But this was years ago. And they get terrorized if they actually say, like, no, we are all Russian. Like, there was a lot going on in there. So yes, Bakhmut has been liberated by Russia. And then you hear all of this back and forth. But while Bakhmut has been liberated by Russia, big place like that been taken over, we're still sending $3 billion more to Ukraine. F-16 jets going to Ukraine. And Biden has, they've authorized for Ukrainian pilots to be trained, I believe here, if I'm not mistaken, in America for 4 months, so they'll be able to use the F-16 jets. And everybody talking about this, like real analysts, like underground, like people like me, or bigger deal like Big Surge or the Duran, like people know, like these people already here training on these F-16 jets. Don't think that it's only 4 months. They've been here training, but allegedly, in my opinion, right? When did we authorize to do this? When did the American people say, let's train the Ukraine pilots? When did we say that? Because I don't remember voting about this. What's like, and now we are not now, we've been in a war with Russia. It's us. We are in a war with Russia. And don't think that there aren't American people on the grounds of Ukraine, because there's a lot of troops in Poland. A lot of our troops are in Poland. I remember that. That was last year. So we're in a war that we never authorized, but they went around us and they proxied the war. Proxy war. Allegedly, in my opinion. I have to say that for YouTubers. YouTube will come and take you down, right? But it's the truth. You see how it is about the truth? We can't even talk back. It was when it was COVID. They ain't let us talk about that. Now it's like you can't say much of anything that's the truth, right? It's anti-government, right? It's not. It's me asking questions. This is how government works. I'm asking questions. So, of course, through all this. And then here's the other thing, too. And this is why conservatives get on my nerves. Like, I have to hear patriotic lies in the morning. Some military general, I forgot his name, Kellogg. And listen, thank you for your service, sir. I know you've done a lot, and I get why you have to sound a certain way. It has been embedded in our system for us to look at Russia as the bad guys. You know what I'm saying? As like, oh, Russia bad and America good. It's been a propagandized thing. Like we didn't even realize when it was happening, but it has been done. So he has to say, so now when they're talking about the BRICS union, he has to say like, well, yeah, because Russia knows how they recognize vulnerability. Because the host was asking him, and I love that station that I watch. I'm not mad at the host. He knows what's going on. But he says it looks like a lot of countries are aligning with Russia because their cultural beliefs and not, they're not like promoting the stuff that we promote that I'm going to show you. And you hear the general, he says, well, that's because Russia, they recognize vulnerability and that's why they're doing this. Don't do that. Like, listen, I don't know Putin. I don't know him, but I'm just saying what we're doing here in the West, what we fight for, it is not natural. So I wouldn't be shocked that other countries are saying, nope, y'all got that. And we've been doing this for a while, holding back aid for a whole nother agenda, right? So miss me with that. Let's go back to the um make sure I finish saying everything I have to say about that. So yeah, so even when you would think this war is done, right? You would think this war is over. Okay, they got Bakhmut, like let's just leave it alone, guys. You know what? They're not stopping. And by the way, the people who took over, the group that took over Bakhmut was the Wagner group, a group of mercenaries, a group of what I heard like ex-cons, like because I remember they said Russia was like going, not Russia, like the military, like defense leader was like going to prisons in Russia, was like, if you ready to make a change and you want to fight for your country, like you got one shot, you know? And a group of mercenaries, like some people, like I think like Prigozhin is, they said he's like he owns restaurants, you know, but obviously he has like a background in doing this, right? That's what I heard. But they took over. So not even the whole Russian army. They had a part of it too, but these people aren't playing. And then Fed now is starting in July, guys. Please, you know, CBDC, it's on its way. Our dollar is about, I cannot believe there was one election, I think that was detrimental. It was the 2020 election. Since this Biden administration has come through, I've seen more than I knew was possible. Literally, the prophecies are showing themselves. Like, what is this, right? So our dollar is collapsing. And what you have here is Saudi to join BRICS. You know, game changer. The bloc has already established a new development bank with a capital of 100 billion to rival the International Monetary Fund, the IMF. And Saudi Arabia inclusion would add significant resources to this effort. They're kicking away the American dollar. They don't want to use the petrodollar anymore because it comes with too much cultural changes, too much unnatural change, right? So, like right now, and then they sanctioned themselves to hell, like everything sanctioned Russia, this sanctioned Russia that, and then we pay for it because the hyperinflation. But this is what I have to believe, that this administration wants to tank the dollar, but they still want to fight Russia because there is a temple or something. There's something in that. There's an altar there that they have to build in Ukraine. There's something else going on there, and they're not going to stop. So anyway, so now you have Russia and India. And people get mad at Modi because he's like, I'm not sanctioning Russia. Okay, I'm going to take Russian oil because he takes the Russian oil, he adds a teeny bit of his oil, reprocesses it, says it's Indian oil, and sells it back to the European Union at a much higher price. Why would I sanction Russia? Because you fools are acting like y'all too moralistic to buy oil from Russia. I'm not going to do that, right? And so they're they're trying to give them a hard time about this now. And then they're trading in like their own money, like rupees and ruples and everything, and slowly but surely their money will gain value. You got China in this, South Africa is in this, you know, all the countries, like they're trying to, like, look, 30 years ago G7 was 2.5 times larger than BRICS in terms of PPP GDP. Now BRICS has surpassed the former colonial powers of G7. This is an inexorable, oh my God, inexorable change. I hate that makes me so like, oh God, I'm mad I ain't saying it right. That imperialists are trying to stop. Yes. And the prime target is, of course, China, since it makes up the bulk of BRICS economy. Now, first of all, I don't think that our imperialists here are trying to stop it. They want our dollars to collapse so they can put us on this digital system for the social credit scores, for these commercials that y'all are seeing. You know what I'm saying? It's all connected. It's all connected. And then I will end off with this. You know, so they're showing, yeah, China's GDP is as big as Germany, Japan. So they're showing you all this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, wow, like in a year after Joe Biden told us we're gonna do the ruble's gonna turn into rubble. We're the hyperinflation. I went to go get some bacon the other day. It was $8. Okay, turkey bacon. That's not normal. God. And I don't want to think about what got us here because I get mad, like, damn it, it didn't have to be this way, but I don't want to get worked up. But all right. And so, yeah, everybody, you know, the president of Turkey says our country is not at a point where we would impose sanctions on Russia. And as the West has done, We are not obligated to follow the West sanctions. Turkey has interest in joining BRICS. They will join BRICS. They will join BRICS, you know? That now is on its way. So, and then this is why, and this is why. So we'll segue right into what's going on. And this is why. Because this is what NATO fights for. This is NATO flag on, here you go. This is why. And I said it on my Twitter. I was like, you know, NATO's made it pretty clear. You know, NATO is proud as a proud ally of the LGBTQI plus community. And I'm like, NATO has made it very clear that they are crusading for, you know, for this. This is the crusade. This is why people are repelling America now. Because, like I told you before, Obama in 2014 told one of them countries in Africa, if you don't get rid of your LGBT laws, I will hold back aid from you. Look what the money comes with, right? So we're going to get into this whole agenda. But let me go back and check the chat and see what y'all been saying. Oh, you guys are so amazing to me. All right, let me see. Wait, I'm a ghost. But okay, make sure you like this. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for telling them to like it. Oh, I thank you. Oh, and then General Vic, thank you for coming through. Broken Traditions had to leave. He has to watch a meeting. All right, I'll holler at you later. Okay, who is Bread of Losers? Thank you for liking and subbing. I appreciate you. Let me see what you said. Let me see. Stephen Garrison says, remember when he had that Ukraine president played a GTG missile like a guitar? What the F made? When did that happen? Y'all, which president? You got give me a little bit, offer me some more detail on that, please, Stephen, because I actually don't remember that because I'm like new to the game. But what I do know is the president before Zelensky wasn't great himself either. Poroshenko, I mean, he allowed the churches in Ukraine to be switched over by Mike Pompeo coming in making new churches in Ukraine. This is what I mean. What's going on in Ukraine? What's going on in Ukraine? I'm really trying to come through with all sorts of information. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of y'all. And let me see, General Vague says, America isn't going to win the culture war against the rest of the world with the LGBT stuff. Yeah. If anything, it's making other countries want to distance themselves a bit and not adopt America's culture. Absolutely. Because it's one thing when you say, listen, man, that's what you want to do, man. I mean, like, you do your thing, fall back from me. Just do your thing. Right? But that's what we thought we could do. That's what we thought we could do. In the 90s and the early 2000s, we did not talk like this. Like, and even when like Pride Month came, which I was so annoyed when it was in June, I'm like, God, why all that gotta be in my birthday month? But anyway, but I didn't care that hard. Like, or whatever. You saw a couple of flags here and there. But there's something about that particular flag, too, that looks different. It just the one with the trans and the V, it just gives me Nazi type, you know, like that's what it gives me. It just gives me like we're taking over, and that's what's happening. We've long gone from the days like, hey guys, like, you know, we just whatever it is, what it is, that's your life too. You need to make your kids do it too. What? Okay, now that's a problem. Now that's a problem, you know. So going back to my oh shoot, I removed it. Sorry, y'all. Going back to Twitter. Let's start with. I want you to see how crazy this stuff makes people. Absolutely insane.
Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people.
Gotta make this bigger so you can see the eyes.
There.
Check the eyes. Check the
They're
eyes.
Standing in a circle in the rotunda saying that over and over again. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people.
Crazy dog.
Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here.
Okay, so
We need.
now I'm gonna do this scenario with you as if I was at work, okay? From the trans people belong here, we need trans people. I would have walked up to her and said, Michaela, hey Michaela, listen, you're starting to get, a little bit. It seems like you're a little anxious. I understand you have something you want to talk about. This, if she was at my facility as she should be, I would be like, well, we have an option here. I have an Ativan for you if you want to take it. If you want to take it, okay. And then when it escalated to this,
We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here.
I would have said, Michaela, you either taking the Ativan or I'm giving you the Ativan. Okay, right now.
We need trans people. Trans people belong here.
At that point, I got 3 guys already quarterbacking me. We're going to take Michaela from the side and the middle. We're coming in straight through. Get her right there. And I got that bad boy in my hands. I'm sorry. I'm just giving you the reality of what happens. This is a person who's hysterical. This person should not be on nobody's Congress seat. I know how it sounds. I'm not trying to make a joke about this, but this is reality. This is reality. I have had patients like this.
We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here.
She has become a danger to herself and others. We don't even need to see any more of this, right? So this is what this is taking people to, the borderline personality disorder. And I was watching this on Josh Slocum, again, the Disaffected podcast, Sunday nights at 9. Check it out on YouTube. For real, though. That podcast, he's so good. Like, he comes on weekly. I love watching it. And he showed this, and he was saying, like, they're getting like to this state in borderline where they're almost, it's like the histrionics are crazy. But to me, I look at this and I'm like, no, the borderline personality disorder of needing to save somebody, because I'm pretty sure she's being cheated on at home. I'm not trying to bust, but something's not right at home. And she doesn't feel like dealing with it. She got her pin on and everything. So she has to save other people, right? Okay, that's what, so she needs attention and I'm going to save people, right? But it's not working. So I have to do more and more because nobody is bringing this down and calming it down and de-escalating her and saying, what is the root cause of your problem? This is a problem. Acting like this, you're becoming a danger to yourself and others. You have now transcended to hysterical, almost schizoaffective disorder now. Are you hearing voices? It can happen. And so she's sitting there screaming and everybody's chilling. We're a country where this behavior should not be accepted. Somebody should have probably pulled her off and been like, yo, we might have to 302 her. Yes. Is she a danger to herself and others? I know how that sounds. I have seen people come into my job like this. So how is it any different? And she's at work. So we are letting the patients take over. Okay. So, all for the agenda, right? All right. So moving along. So then when I had to go and look on Twitter, because they have this hashtag that everybody's been going all over. And I'm like, what is this hashtag? And I finally figured it out, though. Yeah, this IDAHOBIT. So apparently this was some sort of special day. Excuse me. This is some sort of special day. So on Wednesday was International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia. What is this? Like, what is biphobia? What are we talking? Nobody even cared about y'all. You only call it phobia. And who was it who Hypnotic told me they changed the definition? So I was like, phobia means scared. I'm not afraid of anybody. And he was like, nah, it's like, now they're saying like to detest something, to like really like hate something. And I'm like, are you serious? They knew to change the definition. And yeah, I hate this. I do hate this. Y'all in my face too much with this. I can't stand it. I'm tired of it. What is this? Right? So, and then you got Anthony Blinken. Here you go with the trans Nazi flag. That's what I call that. or International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, Interphobia. What is interphobia? What is inter? And transphobia. We call for an end to harmful conversation. I didn't even read this whole thing. What? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Oh, okay. I thought he had more. We call for an end to harmful conversation or conversion. All right. Conversion therapy practices. By the way, conversion therapy is a conversation. Like if I say to somebody like, actually, I think that you were born in the right body. You just express yourself differently. I already engage in conversion therapy. Including those that attempt to change a person's sexual orientation. But who's the one doing that? Gender identity or expression or sex characteristics. Do you see how they flip it now? They say you're the bad guy. Because if a 15-year-old boy comes to you and says, I'm a girl and I want to chop it off, and you say, whole fam, let's have some discussions, you're the bad guy, right? You're changing their gender identity. You're changing their sex characteristics. Absolutely extraordinary. This is insane. They're not playing, okay? Now, and these are big, I keep coming out the bookmarks. The UN women, we stand together, right? To end all this stuff, right? Why I'm showing you this for now, all of this. Look at this. It's words of wisdom from actress. Let's see what this fool's saying.
Bodies. I show solidarity as I stand with cisgender women for the right to have autonomy over their bodies, for the right to be able to decide on what to do with their bodies.
But did y'all stand for me when I said I wasn't taking that jab? But that was my body, right? Right? That's because that's not what it's about. They stand with these people who want to sacrifice their children. This is all like this. This is all like, and this is the UN, right? Hold on. Another UN debate. Here we go. There's no, look at this. All the different families, everybody's trailblazing, right? Stand up for human rights. I hate hearing the word human rights. I do. My rights are not given to me by you, person. My rights are given to me by God. My right to live, my right to have free will is given to me by God, and I have to protect it, right? And so that's where like Constitution stuff like that comes in. But you don't give me rights. And this is the UN, United Nations. The Indian Prime Minister Modi went to the G7 summit, and he said his main reason for going was to talk to the UN, talk about how the UN really needs to be, the UN Council needs to be switched up because it doesn't represent what is really going on in the world today. And I think there's nothing but like European Union people on that council. Don't quote me. And they talk about a lot of things. And remember, with the pedophilia and all that, and so they're not that much against it as much as I thought they should be, right? I know what he's saying. He's saying that we don't promote this stuff, and y'all need to go. Watch out for Modi, y'all. Modi's saying some things. I don't live in India. I don't know that man, but I know that if you say certain things, it might be time for regime change. Okay. Color revolutions. We did it here in America in 2020, and that's why we're in this position now. Allegedly, in my opinion. So that's where we are. And so now when you go and you look up, I'm almost done. I'm almost about to wrap up all of this because you can talk about this stuff forever. But I got a couple more things to say. And it comes back. This is the agenda. Now look at this, right? This is what makes me want to come through the screen. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to let you see it.
2.5-year-old Sparrow has yet to make a choice about their gender. Sparrow, do you want a banana?
They're anti-gender, but we're using they, them pronouns. Sure, they have anatomy, we understand it, but that's not indicative of their identity. It's something that Sparrow's going to have to figure out and then tell us before we can tell anyone else.
Particularly because it's, something that our parents did and they got it wrong.
But giving Sparrow 2.5-year-old.
You see that there? Look at this beautiful baby. This baby is probably a boy. Because these people are they're so obsessed. They're not gonna put a girl look on an actual girl. So I would imagine that this is a baby boy. This is why I can't stop talking about this stuff. This is the papa. That's a woman. That's a woman, all right? Massive confusion. And then you have Maddie, she, her, mama, she, her. I don't even know how these boys came to be in the situation. These are men. Excuse me. These are males, because I don't call everybody a man. Okay, because men don't act like this. This is what we have going on here. You see that? They're raising these babies. And it sometimes makes me want to cry, because that's how mad it makes me, because children don't deserve this. Like, they don't. My God, they're so sweet, and they're just innocent, and they need guidance, and they need protection, and they need love, and they need compassion, and they need the truth, the natural truth. These people are having children so that they can place their narrative on their kid for attention. And Munchausen by proxy has gone from putting pine sol in the cereal to destroying your child from birth with this gender stuff, with mutilation, with confusion, with lies. And then you can have a reality show. When's the last time you heard somebody try to poison it? When's the last time you heard of somebody saying their child had cancer and they didn't, and then they found out that the mom was actually poisoning them? You don't hear that anymore. Remember, we used to hear that a lot in the 90s, 90s, early 2000s. We used to hear that. What was her name? I forgot that girl's name. There was a girl, she ended up ending her mother over that, because her mother destroyed her for years. It was like taking her teeth out, all kinds of things. They don't got to do all that no more. They don't. They get to destroy their children and get reality shows and have fun and get promotional paid for. This is abuse. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I want to show you guys a couple more things. 2 more things. It's not right. I mean, it's just not right. And it keeps coming down to this for me, because, and not just for me, it's all connected. They want you, I mean, we have NATO crusading for it. What's the name? Oh, matter of fact, I wanted to show you this girl too, saying, I mean, it's just like, you cannot keep up with, they keep you on a ticker tape of the nonsense. This is our press secretary, right? Because I don't do communities. First Black immigrant, Haitian, I don't care. I don't care. Okay.
There are more than 600 pieces of anti-LGBTQ plus legislation out there. A few hundred of them are anti-trans community. And that matters because we have to call that out. And we've never seen this level. It's historic in the number of pieces of legislation. And I've met a lot of parents.
I'm going to stop her right there. Why haven't we seen this level in historic pieces of legislation? Because we didn't know. When you find out that people are really taking their kids and having them sliced and diced, this is unethical, absolutely unethical. Somebody has to step in. And then look at these, look at all this in the background. Look.
Of trans kids in the past couple of months who have told me these devastating stories, whether they're in Texas or Oklahoma or wherever they are, saying how they now have to seriously consider leaving their state to protect their child. And that's something that we have to call out and continue to be very clear about, that these are kids. These are our kids. They belong to all of us.
Girl, that last part right there, sis. Listen, they belong to all of us. No, though, they don't. Girl, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. It makes you want to come. No, they don't. Stay away from my kids. Okay? Okay? They do not belong to you. You sick. And let me tell you, this girl right here, first of all, she's supposed to be a lesbian. I don't know her, but I'm going to tell you, she wasn't born that way. She said stuff like, oh, I feel like, I couldn't talk about it when I was a kid because, blah, blah, blah. I would get, people would have stuff to say. It was going to be hard for me. I'm Haitian. She wasn't born that way. And I know that's big for me to say that, but people will pick up these lives. Pete Buttigieg was not dating men back in the day, but whatever it takes to be falling in line with the narrative, with the agenda. Okay, they have to fall in line. And then she enjoys saying everything that she says. When she says they're all our kids, she knew to add that in. She said, I'm gonna make them mad. I'm gonna add that in. I know how people think I do. That's how, yes, I take it just like that. Yes, I do. They're not your kids. They're not your kids. Matter of fact, let me see. I had to show you. Matter of fact, now let me show you a couple more things. Twitter is just my go-to. This person right here. I don't know why people think she's an ally. Blair White is Blair White. Blair White's said some pretty good things, but when it comes down to it, Blair White will side with the reason for Blair White's existence, the reason for Blair White having a platform. I'm not trying to come for this person. I don't want to make this person sound negative or anything, but it is the reality of the situation, because they're answering to that. They want to do the best they can, but they still answer to themselves. They do. So there was this post on Twitter. Males in disguise put base mother and father kick son out after he comes out as trans. And they basically are like, the kid is like, please answer. Hold up. Let me take that back about the kid. Okay. Please answer the phone. I need you to answer. What am I supposed to do? Since you think you can be a girl, figure everything else out on your own. That's the father. I won't have a tranny living in my house. I'm disgusted. You've turned out this way. I need my things. Please answer. That answer. Stay away or I'll call the police. Okay. So now, and then the moms was like, I'm trying to call you. So now this is with the moms. I'm trying to call you. Can you please talk to me? What am I supposed to do? We are so disappointed in you. We have had enough. Leave us alone. What am I supposed to do? Answer, please. I'm calling you, Dad. We don't want to see you. You are a disgrace. This is your own fault. I literally have nothing. What do you expect me to do? I at least need my things. Answer. All right. Now, some people are saying that this is not real, right? And the first thing, and then this person, Brad, says, this is cruel, not base. Now, here goes Blair. OMG, allowing your family to break apart over something that may even be temporary. So base. Family values, yes. So Blair was trying to be funny, right? Blair was trying to be funny and say like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Like, come on, this is a child. Everybody was saying that this is a child. How do we know that's a child? How do we know that's a child? Mom said, if this is real, Mom said, we've had enough. How do we know this isn't some 40-year-old that's been mooching off the parents all this time? And now here they come with the new stuff. And the parents are like, I can't. You know what I'm saying? The water bill is high. The electric bill is high. We don't need you here. And now you want to come with this now? And I'm 75, 80 years old. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm done. Get out. Yeah. How do we know? Right? Blair didn't think about that. Blair went straight to, criticism of the situation without asking questions. Yeah, because you've got to defend this. I understand. I'm not part of the community that I'm a part of is the community of people who are genuine. How about that? Okay. I feel like, and then I think is that it. And I have one more thing I wanted to share with you guys. I feel like it was something else too, but if we don't stop, and this is why we will continue to have these conversations. Trans woman sues New York City yoga studio for $5 million after being told to leave women's locker room. Humiliation. Okay, so the transgender woman sued a New York City yoga studio on Monday after being asked to exit the women's locker room at the studio and being told to use the men's facilities, according to court. That's Allie Miles, also known as Dylan Miles. Okay, so Dylan, according to the complaint, is suing Hot Yoga Chelsea for $5 million after management asked them to. Okay, they keep saying the same thing. Miles sat down with the manager and owner and specifically told the manager about Miles' gender status and informed that Miles most closely aligned with female gender identity and that Miles intended to and wished to use a private non-gender specific locker room. After the yoga class, blah, blah, blah. Hold on a second. Into the women's locker room and other women complained about Miles' presence. Of course they did. I would complain to. There's a man who just walked into the women's locker. What is this? Um, so this is the third gender identity discrimination lawsuit Miles has filed. And Miles has found the best grift. You see, the third one in 13 months. But the laws are more than likely on Miles' side. Miles is going to be rich. Miles' use of the single gender locker room labeled men made Miles suffer shame, humiliation, frustration. I mean, Miles was basically like hurt, you know. But Miles says he was hurt over the situation, and you know, this is the third time this happens. He keeps going into places that doesn't have gender neutral bathrooms, right, or whatever, right, and saying, you know, oh, now you made me feel shame. This is in New York, and they have the laws to protect Miles. Miles can win. This is coming to Pennsylvania, okay, with House Bill 300. You know, it's coming here. This is why this stuff needs to be talked about. When you hear people say, oh, you guys are so obsessed with the trans. So what is it going to take in order for us to have this conversation? These people are coming in your living rooms with the laws. The communists have taken over. Yeah. Right? So, you know, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So this is where we're at. Let me read some of the chat and then I'll be signing off. But let me see what we got on the chat. I mean, like, literally can talk about this forever. Traditions made it back fast enough to talk about our favorite Haitian American. You better get out of here. I'm your favorite Haitian American. Yes, General Vague, that woman works for Biden. She's so annoying. Yes, it's a whole bunch of them who work for Biden. Yes, she is. And it's funny because Jen Psaki, she left right before a lot of this started. Now, when Jen Psaki left, I don't like saying her real name. I don't care. I don't like it. When she left, I said, something's coming in America. And she probably was like, I'm not ready for it. So I don't know. I'm not giving her any type of, you know, excuse or you know, good intentions or anything, right? But sometimes there's even something that even the most trifling person can't do once in a while. Let me see. Yeah, so yep. Jesus has left the chat. Oh, Dragon Slayer, I didn't know that you made it through. What's up, Dragon Slayer? Yep. Got that haircut. Yeah. Where are alien rights? No, Steven, I'm moving fast. Steven, they're coming soon. You know, they have to be, right? It's just too much. It is. And let me see. Yeah, in New York, cha-ching. Yeah, like I said, Cindy, they have the laws, and this is gonna be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania too. This is gonna be people gotta wake up, man. They want you. It's for the kids. They want the kids. They don't do with an old lady like me. They're gonna try to trans me. You know that ain't happening. They want them pure. They said that a baby can know that they're trans. Should have a third. Bobby Wald, thank you for coming through. Should have a third locker room with just a question mark on the door. Right, right. Or you can't go to the hot yoga. You can't come in here. You know, you can't. I don't have that for you. I will end with this. What people should have fought for during the civil rights movement, and I've been so disenchanted by it. I'm sure there were a lot of people with good intentions, but this was always the agenda behind the civil rights movement. It was so, we don't discriminate against, you know, sexual orientation, race, this, that, and a bunch of stuff got added in, right? So, yeah, it derailed everything. What people should have marched for was a fair and free market system, a real one. Because I always say, what people have told me, what I've heard from some people who lived in the South around that time they said what was more annoying was when you had, let's say you had a white person who owned a bakery and they would sell the donuts to black people. Like, I don't care. This is green money. I pay my bills, right? And then the cop would come through and say, you know, they're not supposed to be in here because of our laws. They're not supposed to be in here. And then, you know, then that became a problem. There was, you know, situations like that. You had more black businesses around that time too, because they had to make their own businesses, right? They should have fought for a real free market system because organically people would have integrated. because the money will bring the capitalism can be a beautiful thing. It done right, it can. It can. Um, people would have definitely came together like, listen, at the end of the day, I have bills to pay. I want to buy a new house. I want whatever. So if a black person is walking in here to buy something, I'm gonna sell it to them. Or if a white person's coming in here to eat something, I'm gonna sell it to them. But they kept trying to keep the people apart, and so this is where government overstepped. And so they should have marched for less government. Instead, they asked for more government, and so that was a communistic move. People would have respected, it would have organically. We wouldn't be here today. Once that happened, the communities, they really, to me, got really built and pulled apart even more. And what did it really do? That's just my take on it. But guys, that hour was so fast. I had so much fun with everybody who came through on the chat. You guys were absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for everybody who hit the like button, people who were talking, who was who's like, thank you for supporting me. Like, thank you everybody talking to each other. This chat was tight. You know what I'm saying? This chat was all that. It's like but thank you so much. I can't say thank you enough. But let me go get my bearings together and let me go, get things under control, organize everything, get a little bit of rest, because at 5:00, we come at 5:10. We're gonna be back on Jambalaya Talks. It's going to be a good time because we're going to talk about the real truth about feminism. Men will love it because women do too much. No, but all right. Thank you so much for everybody saying great stream. I'll see you guys at 5:10. Bye.